Alright, so beautiful people, this is the female dungeons. And the female dungeons that you see has two chambers. One here, one at the direct opposite. 150 women occupied each chamber at a time. So together 300. And on record, somewhere here with their children in this little condition. In here, their source of light and ventilation came from the holes of them. These big spaces were all blocked off. And in here, they were also doing everything here. Everything that happened in the male dungeon equally happened here. They were eating, sleeping, defecating, urinating, everything on this floor. Yes. You know, as a slave, you don't bath, you don't brush your teeth. And as a slave too, in the dungeon, you don't wear clothes. They strip you off, cover your genitals with a piece of cloth. So over here, the women who stayed here for 1 month to 3 months, they couldn't get any water to wash up their menstrual blood. They were here. They were sleeping in it here. And most of you are female, so you can just imagine 150 women all have their flow on this floor for 3 good times without getting water to wash it off. You can imagine the stench in this room, the type of diseases and infections that they were getting. The rats, the mosquitoes, the flies that were coming in. For them, they were dying in their numbers. And anytime that they died, their dead bodies were thrown into the sea. Any question? Let's see the dolphin return. Alright, so beautiful people, we stand right in front of the door of floor 10. The big door that you see wasn't big as you see. It was very small and narrow, designed in such a way that only one could enter at a time. And before you enter, you need to bow before fitting. The moment you pass through this door, you are no more considered as a human being. You are now a commodity because you lose your identity as a human being. You lose your mother tongue, that is the language that you speak. You lose your family, you lose your friends, you lose everything including your reputation. When you pass through this door, you don't bear your name. You bear the name of your slave master. You have to speak like your slave master. On record, millions of people walked through this door and not all of them survived. Most of them died on the middle passage. Some of the slaves decided to commit suicide just because it would be better for them to die than to be taken to a place that is unknown to them. So out of frustration, they were just jumping into the sea. And at some point too, the soldiers realized the ships were very heavy. So they have to offload people. They were floating pregnant women, children, sick ones, blind ones, all into the sea, just to make the ships very stable and confident in the sea. This is the door where African men and women walked through for over 300 years, and none of them ever came back to Africa. Today we are using the same door, and I'm assuring you we will surely return back. Right. Let's come out. Beautiful people, we are finally out from the door of no return. But in the seawater that you see far wasn't far as you see. The seawater wasn't far as you see. It was very closer to the castle, to where we have the staircase here. So smaller boats will be here loading the slaves to the bigger ships. And on record, some of the slave ships have interesting names like Liberty, Brotherhood, Jesus, Freedom, glory of Africa. They were taking the slaves to the Caribbean, West Indies, Northern, Southern America, and other European countries to work on the plantations that the Europeans established on the New World. And this staircase that you see belongs to the British soldiers. They were not using the door of no return to come out because it was too small for them. They were using where they referred as their golden stairs. So anytime the slave ships arrive, you will see the slaves using the door of no return, while they will also be using their golden stairs to join the ships. Let's have a look. We saw door of no return in, and now we are seeing door of return out here. This is very significant. It was pasted here 25 years ago when Ghana celebrated a festival called Emancipation. During that festival, 2 ancestral remains were exhumed. One was brought from Jamaica, one was brought from New York. Samuel Carson from New York, Madam Crystal from Jamaica. The families of these 2 exhumed the mortal remains. They traced the ancestral roots and they finally got here. So a ritual was performed right in front of the door of no return, just to break that bondage in the chains, which says no captive who will use the door of no return will ever return again to Africa. They are saying they have returned finally. So the chains, the bondage has been broken. Africans in the diaspora should not come back home. This is the ancestral land. This is where they belong. They should always remember that no one was captured here as an African American, as a Trinidadian, as a Jamaican. We're all captured here as one people. They sent us there, gave us different names, making us see ourselves as strangers today. So in Ghana, every 1st of August, we celebrate emancipation, just to welcome our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to come back home. That is why today you can see the door so big with the inscription, Door of Return. So beautiful people, let us all return back as we use the door of return to return.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so beautiful people, that was the condition in here. Apart from the first door, they had extra 2 doors. So the doors in here were 3. The first one at the middle and 1 here. 3 doors. How can you escape? In here, there wasn't anything like electricity, so no lights.
And here is hotter than there.
Yes.
No ventilation.
No ventilation. Cells are different from dungeons. This is a punishment cell. Yes. And over here, no food, no water for anybody. No lights, no ventilation. So you stay here, you suffocate, and you die. And in here, the worst thing that happened here was, you see our number right now. Imagine we are all in this castle fighting for our freedom. They capture all of us, bring us here today. They realize today, this man here is dead. The soldiers go back. They don't take away his dead body. We all have to stay here with his dead body until the last person here is dead before they bring all the dead bodies out. So you can imagine, even the smell of the rotten body will even kill you here. Can you smell some stench in here? That is the smell of the rotten body. In here, anyone that was rotten here, no one survived. No one can stay here for more than 48 hours. You will soon die. So, up here you can see there are cannons all around the castle. Yes, these cannons that you see were created by the British soldiers. You know, at some point, Europeans became enemies to themselves. We all wanted to control this evil business here. So they wanted this piece of land. At some point, they were just fighting themselves all about this land. It made this land change hands several times. The Portuguese were the first to settle on this land. 1555, they abandoned this area, moved to Elmina. So the Swedish also occupied. The Swedish occupied, built a fort, and named the first fort Carolusborg in the year 1653. They were here in the Danes came before the Swedish and kicked them out. So the Danes captured the fort, and the Dutch also came, did the same to the Danes. Finally, 1664, the English also arrived. For the Dutch, defeated them, and started to erect this huge edifice. But then the English had in mind that since they have defeated the Dutch, other Europeans will definitely try to attack them here. So they should first protect themselves and their properties from enemies. That is why they built these cannons. So they use it to fight other Europeans who would try to attack them here. They fill them with gunpowder first. They put the cannonballs at the mouth of the cannons. They light it from the bottom and it shoots. Hit ships, creates holes in the ships. Water enters and the ship sinks down. And apart from the cannons, they built 2 extra forts to protect the castle from enemies. Let us all watch up there. When you look up there at the far end, there is a white building with a red roof, like a small castle. Please, do you see? Yes, that is called Fort William. Soldiers were there, soldiers were here as well. At that point, if you stand there, you will see every part of Cape Coast. So the soldiers there will be the first to see if enemies are coming from the sea or inland. And in the morning, the soldiers there communicate with the soldiers using flag. They wave white for a friend, red for enemy. In the afternoon, they use mirror. They direct it to the sun, use the reflections to communicate. And in the evening, they use torchlight or fire to communicate. We have the second one there, but then unless we get down, before we see the second one, that is also called Fort Victoria. Soldiers were there just to serve the same purpose. So you can see these things actually helped the British to stay here for a longer period of time. The British came to Ghana 1664 and they left Ghana just 66 years ago, not too long. Stealing our human and natural resources for over 200 to 300 years. And for the Europeans in general, they came here 1471. They also left Ghana just 66 years ago. For the Europeans in general, it is over 600 years. And you can see what they have done to we Africans. On the floor, you can see these marble stones. All these are original. They are all over 200 years. The soldiers brought it from England just to build this castle. And this is where the soldiers were staying. This area, now you see it to be the art market. This was their barracks. When everything ended here, it became the first prison in Ghana before it was taken to a place called Ankafo. Let's move up to see where the British government was staying. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the governor's residence. I brought you up here so that we can do some comparison together. This is a room for one. Only one person was staying up here, and that is the British governor. He wasn't even here with his wife, and this area happens to be his living room alone. The living room alone has 9 windows around it. Bedroom right here has 5, making 14, and we have 2 at the entrance, making 16 windows in total for only one person. You can feel the breeze up here. This is for only one person. Let's have a look at the picture. Right, so this is the bedroom of the governor. Very spacious, properly ventilated room with a nice view. He was really enjoying himself up here. It's one person up here, 1,000 men in the dungeons. Any question before we move down?
Is this?
Yes, it's wood, but it is not the original one. Let us move down to see the church so we can. In the dungeons, I made mention of a hole, of which a soldier will stand there and be monitoring the slaves in the dungeons. This is the hole that I showed you down there. So you can see the distance between the hole and the entrance of the church. Anyone that moved in and out of the church saw everything that was happening there. They were seeing the slaves clearly, screaming down while they passed up to worship Jesus. It has been long. It's now a church's life. It's very interesting, beautiful people. If there is no question, and beautiful people, we have come to the end of our talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Freedom, toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Kwame, the star of Ghana, Nkrumah, star of Ghana, everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom, everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Coast will thank Nananum and elders, late Gisli Hayford, Mensan Saba, Pa Grant, Sergeant Ajete, and all who fought for freedom. Everybody! Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom. Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors. Toils of the brave which have brought results. Kwame, the star of Ghana. Nkrumah, star of Ghana, everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom, everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Gold Coast will thank Nananum and elders, late Gisli Hayford, Mensan Saba, Pa Grant, Sergeant Ajete, and all who fought for freedom. Everybody! Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results.